assuming it's his wit. I would have actually suspected Watson to be able to know that part. But why Watson wouldn't also be examining the body, I have no idea. He really, really should. The her jugular vein was slashed, probably the cause of death. No shit. There's some, gashes on her abdomen, abrasions on her neck, scratches on her left ring finger, distinct, particular, cloying, inexpensive brand of perfume. Okay. Well, we can now look at things more carefully. Let's look at the abrasions. It implies that the attacker had forcefully removed a heavy chain or necklace. There were 3 separate lines where the chain scraped her neck, all of which are deep and vivid. So somebody was trying to pull something off of her. So we can look at the knife wounds. Made with a short blade, perhaps the size and shape of a scalpel. After close, the blade was serrated, hence the name. There's a trace of white powdery residue on the victim's coat. So, the white powdery residue. So he wants to do a chemical analysis, which is a clue. No, that is not what I wanted you to do. Thank you. We're going to pick up. We can find it. No, we're not going to pick up the corpse. There we go. We're going to pick up the white powdery residue. Okay, so we have that in our inventory. Now let's see. We want to... Anything else about the body we want to take a look at? No, I think we've got that. So let's look at the handbag. Simple silk-lined handbag, sometimes called a retic. Well, it's a pocket mirror, tin of facial powder, large metal key. We will be able to get that later. A handkerchief, some cascarus has been hastily dumped out and apparently subjected to a host. Now, if we try to pick this up, yeah, he yells at you. So there's really nothing else we can learn about the scene. We can talk to Watson. We could say, are these... She asked him if his professional opinion. Yes, he's a doctor. He should be able to know more than that. Okay, well, let's ask him this. The ragged edges would be suggest a knife shaped like a scalpel but with a serrated blade. Never seen a tool like that in a surgery or anywhere else. I can't imagine a medical use for such a knife. So it's probably not something that would be used in surgery, so it's probably not a medical scalpel. Let's ask him if he has an explanation. He thinks it's the Ripper. Haunts in Whitechapel. Blah, 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 blah. Of course, the fact that we are miles away, yeah. Let's just look at the... I'm reluctant to speculate about such a serious crime before all the facts are in my possession. It's difficult to pin you down, but you see that you have divined... blah, blah, blah... There we go, let's use this one. I have missed a clue. What you see has gone against. Drew the killer's weapon of choice. Victim's jewelry. Jewelry from his body. This is actually the one we want to go with. The killer's choice of weapon. Killed with a surgeon's scalpel, and as we know, the Ripper uses a scalpel. I think not, Inspector. Holmes' examination of the wound reveals that the fatal blade was serrated. Thank you, Watson. And I know of no medical man that uses such usual, but I expect it's unimportant. Let's not confuse the investigation with trivialities. But Watson, being handy, this lets us know that the murder might have been imitating the style of Jack the Ripper. Perhaps pigs will one day fly, Doctor. He, of course, thinks it's the Ripper. I will restrict my inquiries to the question of the serrated scalpel. You're welcome to look forward into the matters if you wish. You may speak to the witness. And if you want to examine the victim's flat. Is there anything more you can tell me, Inspector? So we have a new link to relieve this foul criminal and help me send him to the gallows. If you've overlooked something, it appears I have little choice but save to report to the Yard that Jack the Ripper is no longer satisfied with haunting in Whitechapel. Citywide alert must be posted. You think it would be posted anyways, but you know. Who knows about such things? So let's, sorry, I'm being distracted. I'm doing, by the way, a continuous stream of this for a while. YouTube's up to 15 minutes. This is Henry Carruthers. You can read what he says. Henry Carruthers, he's the stage manager. I'm afraid we won't be much help. Poor Sarah. Dr. Watson, is that the girl who witnessed the incident? Yes, her name is Sheila Parker. Another S name. She was in a dreadful state earlier, fainted dead away. As you can see, she's still very upset. I doubt she'll be able to answer questions just yet. Well, let's look around first. There's some perfume. There was a ribbon around the bottle as if it were a gift. We're going to get the perfume. Now, we can't talk to her until we get her to calm down. So let's talk to Watson. Maybe he'll know something. Watson, do you have anything that might calm Miss Parker? And Watson says, yes, I'm carrying a potent sedative. Why he just carries it around in his pocket, I don't know. So he gives it to us out of his pockets of holding. And here, girl, have some sedative. Thank you, sir. I feel better, but much like I'm swimming underwater. I think I can answer your questions now if my tongue will obey my brain. Poor girl, she's just sobbing her eyes out. That's Miss Parker. Do you now think you might tell us what you saw? I saw Sarah lying there dead. Blood was everywhere, but especially by her head. I could see her insides. A man in a cloak was running off into the street. I didn't get a good look at him. I didn't see no more than that, sir, honest. I just run in here and fainted, I guess. Next thing I know, Miss Carruthers is waving his coat in my face. And I want to know what's keeping up her dress. Do you know any of her friends or relatives? She doesn't know. No, sir, not personally. I didn't even know Sarah very well. But about a week ago, Sarah got this pendant. Big, ugly thing it was, too. She said it was from her sister. I think her name was Hannah? But I don't know where she lives. Okay. Was the perfume a gift? Do you know who gave it to her? She said it was from her special friend, but I know nothing about him. He called for her here from time to time, but she was very secretive, always making sure everyone was away before she brought him up. As far as I know, he's the only man to see the inside of this room, other than Mr. Carruthers. I have no idea why she didn't want to show him off. And well, let's talk to some more. Found this playbill. Do you know about this note? She wants to see it. Should we show it to her? I wonder where that had gone to. My fiancé come in all the way from Golden Green that night. He couldn't wait to tell me that he'd found a flat for us. We're going to be married early in the new year. I'll be leaving the theater, and none too soon by the looks of it. Well, let's talk to her some more. What was your relationship to Miss Carraway? I was her understudy. We were performing the play The Loves of Hattie Hill, and Sarah was the lead. I played Beth, the servant girl, but I understudied the lead in case, oh, I can't bear to think about it. Do you know anyone who could have been responsible? I don't know anyone on earth could do a thing as was done to her. Now I know there's monsters in the world for certain, but I can't believe they are friends of mine, or Sarah's for that matter. Anyone that might help me learn more about her? No, sir, I'm sorry. Like I said, I didn't know her very well. She was protective of her personal life. Okay, that's about all we're gonna get out of her. So let's look around more. The chest is closed and locked. There are scratches in the wood around the lock deep enough to suggest that it's been forced open more than once. Well, let's open. It's locked. I guess Sarah probably had the key. It was probably the key in her purse. And for some reason he pulls aside her clothing. Look in the wardrobe. The shelves have been ripped out and contains costumes used by the theater company. The sleeves and pockets of several garments are turned inside out, and the overall conditions suggest that it's been poorly maintained, that or it's been ransacked. It's hard to tell. Well, what's this under here? It's a spring. Oh, well, let's pick that up. Is there anything else we can see in here? It's my handy look. There's above the jam is a noteworthy stain. Interesting. We can't look at the trash can, which I think is horrible. Let's look at the door. There's a noteworthy stain. Yeah, we already know about that. The door latch. The door has been scratched and bent by what appears to be a jimmy of poor quality. The scratches are shiny, so it's likely the door has been forced open within the past 24 hours. And there's Henry. So let's talk to him. Do you know anyone who might have been harboring a grudge towards Miss Carraway, a rival or jilted lover, or perhaps an obsessive admirer? It's a stalker. Certainly not. I can't imagine why anyone would harm her. She wasn't the greatest actress, but she was popular in a way, and sweet. Though now that you mention it, there was a young fellow who was asking about her a short time back. He seemed rather suspicious. What was suspicious about him? Watson pipes up. I found him hanging around in the alley. He asked if Sarah worked here, and I offered to take a message, but he refused to leave his name or reasons for calling. He was just a lad, no more than 17, with bright eyes and very single-minded. He didn't want to see Sarah so much as he wanted her address. Did you give it to him? What do you take me for, sir? I don't go handing my girls over to any dimwit who happens by, thank you. My refusal didn't seem to bother him at all, though. He just smiled and thanked me for my time, pretty as you please, then said if I changed my mind, he'd make it worth my while, and that I could leave a message for him at the Moon Gate, whatever that means. Do you have the key to that chest of drawers? No, my master key only opens the doors. Sarah was the only one who had the key to that chest. I think she had a spare, but I don't know where she kept it. Let's see. What's the problem with the door? The plate's broken. I'm attempting to repair it, but I'm afraid it's quite beyond me. I'll probably have to hire a locksmith to do the work.